Fred the firefighter from Florida. Good morning, Dad. Good morning, son. Did you sleep well last night? Yes, Dad. Are you going to work today? Yeah, son. My shift will start today. Can I come with you to the fire station, Dad? Please? Sure, son. I will ask your mom to pick you up after your visit. Fred's mom drove them to the station. Fred was fascinated by the big red fire truck. Fred's dad fellow firefighters greeted Fred and gave him a small firefighter hat. It was like the ones they distributed at schools when they visit. Fred still had the old hat he got in first grade. These trucks are big, Dad. Only one of them is a ladder. Why not both? One of them is a fire truck which has a ladder. The other one is the fire engine, which has water, a pump, and long hoses to put out fires. The ladder is needed to rescue people and animals from upper floor houses and apartments. The engine is needed to put out the fire. Each vehicle has a purpose, son. We cannot have one fire truck that does everything. Is the water in the fire engine enough to put out a large fire, Dad? No, son. It can put out a small one, like a car or a brush fire, but for large fires, like house fires, we connect the hoses to a fire hydrant that you see on sidewalks and use the pump on the fire engine to pump water and put out the fire. Do you want to visit the kitchen? You have a kitchen in the fire station, Dad? Yes, we do. We eat and sleep in the fire station to stay on call in case of a fire in our part of the city. You have a fridge, just like ours at home. Is there food in it? Absolutely, son. When we are not fighting fires or responding to rescue calls, we cook delicious meals here, and we take care of the station and the trucks. Suddenly, an alarm sound went off, and a loudspeaker called, "Car accident, 9th Street and Emerson Drive, multiple injuries, EMT en route." The firefighters quickly put on their protective suits and drove off with the fire engine and the squad car. Fred and his dad stayed at the station. Why didn't the ladder truck go with the others, Dad? They don't need to go high up, son. This is a car accident. I hope people are okay. The fire engine has water to put out any fires that might erupt in one or all the cars involved. The squad car has equipment that helps in rescuing the people involved in the accident. The most used piece of equipment is the jaws of life. What is that, Dad? It looks like a very big plier that can open cars and cut through steel to rescue people stuck inside. It can save lives, which is why it is called the jaws of life. Let me call your mom to pick you up. I'll see you later. Fred's mom picked him up and they drove home. Later that day, Fred's dad came back home. He looked tired. Good evening, Dad. How was your day? It was busy, son. Few hours after you left, we got a call on a house fire. The house was empty, but the owners forgot to unplug an electric heater in the house. That started a fire. We were able to put it out and save the houses around it. An electric heater can start a fire, Dad? Yeah, son. Many things can start a fire. Fires can start from electrical appliances, like an electric heater that tips over and the owners don't pay attention, to electrical shorts, gas leaks, cooking, smoking, and candles, just to name a few. Mom cooks almost every day, Dad. We don't have fires. That's because your mom is careful, son. However, some people put the food on a stove and get distracted by a phone call or some other event and forget about the food. The food burns, and the flames go high and reach the grease above the stove. That grease catches fire, which spreads quickly. If the fire alarms in the house are not working properly, and they don't sound because of the smoke, then a serious fire could happen. You said smoking can start a fire. How can it do that, Dad? Any open flame without safety controls inside a house or a building is dangerous, son. Some people fall asleep without putting what they smoke out, so the clothes or carpet catch fire. Candles that are too close to something that can catch fire is another danger. They should never be put near curtains or draperies, or anything that the candle flame can reach. Gas furnaces should be maintained and checked so they burn properly to prevent fires. Fred heard a beeping sound in the house. He thought it was a fire alarm. What is that sound, Dad? That's one of the smoke detectors in the house. Looks like its battery is weak. I remember changing the batteries not too long ago. Let's find out which one and change its batteries. Do the smoke detector work on batteries, Dad? They have backup batteries in case the electricity goes out. However, they are connected to the house electricity, so if one goes off, the others will go off too to alert the people inside of fire danger. I am a bit tired, son. How about we continue our chat tomorrow? Sure, Dad. Good night. That night Fred had a dream. Next morning, he woke his dad up to tell him what he saw. Dad, I had a dream last night. Good morning, son. What was it about? I became a firefighter, just like you, Dad. We were sitting in the station, and the call came in about a fire at an apartment building. I put on the firefighting suit and went with my team to the scene. It was a building with 5 floors. We had to use the ladder truck to reach the upper floors. The fire was in 2 apartments. We connected the hoses to the fire hydrant and put the fire out. There were 2 ladies stuck in the apartment, a mom and her daughter. We used the ladder to bring them down. We had to go back in the apartment again because they said they had a dog that was trapped in there. The dog was old and could not move quickly. We were able to rescue him too. You remember so many details, son. Amazing. I hope you become a great firefighter. I hope so too, Dad. Can't wait.